For some, mornings may not be the most favorable time of day, but for others, it's the best time of day. When most of us are just waking up, a whole team is already working to help you stay informed. In tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, Carly Phillips takes us inside the early morning routines of our very own KELOLAND This Morning crew.
Good morning and welcome to KELOLAND This Morning. I'm Summer Ottershot.
And I'm Travis Fossing.
Every weekday morning, the KELOLAND This Morning crew starts off your day.
It's a little bit more of a fun show because it's so much longer than every other show we have. We're able to have a little bit more fun. We have more talkables where we're able to banter with each other.
Anchors Summer Ottershot and Travis Fossing are usually up around 2 a.m. and at the station by 3:45 each morning.
The first thing I'm trying to do is catch up on what happened the night before in news, because I don't typically stay up for the 10 p.m. news. So I get here, I'm looking at what was the news from the previous night, looking at the scripts for my first show, whether that's the 4:30 or the 5 o'clock.
Fossing's been anchoring the morning show for 4 years. Before that, he spent over 10 years as KELOLAND's sports director. His experience is helping guide his colleagues.
He's been a little bit of a mix between the cool uncle and a mentor because he's fun. I can joke around with him, but at the same time, he's teaching me things, I swear, almost every day.
Once the morning shows are done, Ottershot and Fossing's days aren't over just yet. They both put together a story that airs in the evening newscast that same day.
I usually try and line my stories up the night before, just so we can, again, hit the ground running the next morning. And I go out and do a lot of feature stories, preview a lot of events or fundraisers, items of that nature.
Highlighting top stories as you head out the door, but also taking a glance at your forecast.
And dare I say a chance for snow?
Usually 2:30 I'm awake, get my coffee going, check the forecast models at home, put things together in my mind, I write things down, what the forecast is doing. I bring that information in with me, and by the time I sit down in front of that computer, I'm off and going.
I always think, well, people are just waking up. What's going on right now as you're heading out the door? And so we try to tackle the subjects of the day, but it's a really interesting program because we can get to the here and now, and then also we can switch gears and give people perspective.
On-air talent is essential when it comes to the face of a successful newscast. But there's an entire team working behind the scenes, including directors, producers, and production assistants who help shape the show. For some of them, their days are just beginning as ours are winding down.
I'll normally wake up every day around 9:45 p.m. and I'll start getting ready, normally leave the house by around 10:30 p.m. and then I'll head out, get to Kelo around 10:45-ish, and I'll clock in around 11 p.m.
I wasn't really a morning person before this shift, I could say that for sure, but ever since I did make the switch, I have become a morning person. I do enjoy my mornings. It's really nice and quiet. You know, I can focus on my work.
Producers Colette Stalinga and Hope McCloskey each produce an hour and a half of news. From editing scripts to stacking the show, they're the ones making sure everything is ready to go on air.
I always have to add in the national packages from our CBS affiliate. I have to copy and paste all the CGs. Anytime you see a little name go down at the bottom of the screen, that's from a national package. I'm normally the one putting those all in.
Stand by.
Starting their days over the nighttime hours means their schedules may look a little different from most.
Breakfast is usually around 3 or 4, lunch is around 7 or 8, and then dinner for me is probably like 3.
But it's all about balance.
I let my family know that I am thinking of them, and I do try and set aside a lot of time for them on weekends and whatnot.
A team dynamic.
It's good to joke around maybe during some of the commercial breaks, do some small talk like that, get to know your anchors, get to know the people behind the scenes too.
And more often than not, some extra caffeine.
During the show, that mug you see in front of us, there's actually coffee in there. I'll have a couple, 2, 3, 4 cups while I'm here during the day.
It makes waking up before sunrise worth it for this morning crew. Eye on KELOLAND.
We are out of here.
I'm Carly Phillips.
I'm pretty familiar with that routine. Well, our morning newscasts don't stop once the week is over. Perry Groten has been producing and anchoring for our weekend show since it started in the late 90s.